Okay, the problem that nobody is talking about. AI is powerful, enrichment is powerful, uncontrolled usage is expensive. So everybody wants AI in their business. I talk to businesses every single day about businesses coming to us and say, hey, you know what? We want AI. We want enrichment. We want automation. But there are some heavy truth that needs to be accepted. AI is not free. Every single time you call up an AI, you call up the API, you have to pay money, right? Every single time you're going to enrich your content, your data, you got to pay money, right? Nothing is free out there. So, and it sometimes can get very expensive. So you've got to be really careful on how you're going to manage AI and enrichment and automation without breaking your bank. Okay. So here's the uncomfortable truth right now. Many of the teams right now, as we speak, they are enriching every single contact. There's somebody is just coming up into the CRM, full enrichment going on. Run AI on cold leads, right? Have zero visibility into credit burn. That is what is going on right now as we speak. Okay, so there is a need of a general governance to be in place so that the company and the management will know exactly where the money is being spent and how the money is being spent. All right. So today we're going to talk about the governance when it comes to HubSpot credit spend. Okay. All right. So leads enrich AI route. That is the framework, the flow work that generally is happening. The leads are coming up. Typically, people are enriching it using AI, and it is then using AI to route and create workflows and other stuff. That is the general flow which is happening. But if the leads are not qualified, then you're going to waste money. For example, you're running ads in Google Ads, and half of the leads are spam bots. Maybe I'm just giving you an example here. Okay, half of the leads which are coming up is basically spam leads, bot leads. Okay, and they are coming into your system, into Salesforce, HubSpot, whatever. And immediately, without any much verification, you start enriching it. Correct? You start finding the company, this and that, and every single time you're doing it, you're using your credit. Right? The company is bogus company, fake companies, fake websites. So it is calling the AI, it is, so all of that is happening. I just gave you an example, but you got the point. Even the non-fake leads, may not be qualified, right? May not match your ICP. What's the point of enriching that? If just because a lead has come into a CRM doesn't mean you have to enrich it A to Z. Those leads may not be qualified leads at all. What's the point of, just go ahead and going and enriching them and adding all the information using the AI, using the credit. So those things needs to be controlled. Okay. So what are HubSpot Credit really? We have already talked about it. HubSpot Credit power AI content generation, data enrichment, buyer intent direction, predictive scoring, smart automation. So HubSpot Credit can be used in a wide variety of ways within HubSpot. Right from content generation to data enrichment, you can use it in whichever ways you want. And the scale of the usage and the amount of the money that you're going to spend depends on that. Right? So credit is equal to usage currency, and subscription does not mean unlimited AI. Just because you have taken a subscription in HubSpot doesn't mean you can unlimited way you can just use the AI. They will give you some certain number of credits for free under that particular subscription, but that's pretty much it. After that, you have to pay the money, right? So the way HubSpot has gone is the way I think the future of SaaS is going to be. I think there is a lot of conversation going on in LinkedIn and other places. What is the future of SaaS? This is the future of SaaS, to summarize it, I think HubSpot is taking the right direction. It has both subscription as well as credit. So it is taking the best of both worlds. That means subscription is giving you access to the platform, and credit is giving you flexibility in terms of usage of AI. I think it makes sense, right? Many other companies, they have completely gone into usage based. Many companies are still trying with subscription based. But I think going forward, this hybrid approach is going to be the common approach, which is going to be used by many SaaS company. Eventually, I just feel, and because of the competition, because the tech is getting cheaper and cheaper every single day, So the subscription cost will go low and the credit cost will go high. That is what I feel. Eventually, next 5 to 10 years, there will be, the AI space will settle down with some major players going on, and that is where I think they will have to make up for all the losses that they have made over the years. So they will start increasing the credit cost. But at the same time, AI is making tech very, very cheap. So I think personally, the subscription cost will either go low or it will go away altogether. That's what my take is. But I think this is a topic for some other day, and I'll create a webinar on that as well. Where credit are being burned. Okay, so based on our work that we have done with our customers, there are hidden credit burn sources. Many of the customers, they don't know these features are new for them, the credits and other stuff, so they don't know what's really going on. There is no control or governance in place for many of the customers that when we started working with them. So it's very important to put up the governance and control in place. So hidden credit burn sources are auto enrichment and contact creation. The moment contacts getting created, auto enrichment is happening. I think we got to stop that. AI drafting for low intent leads, right? AI drafting for low intent leads. The intent itself is not there. It's just a cold email. Somebody uploaded those cold bunch of emails, and then you're running AI on top of that. Doesn't make sense. If there is an intent, then possibly running AI will make sense on top of that, right? If I upload 50,000 cold leads to my CRM or outbound system, then I should first send an email, right? And see who is engaging with it. Maybe only 5,000 people will engage. Then only I should go ahead and, use AI drafting for enrichment and other stuff, correct? There's no point in, using AI for all the 50,000 records, right? So this is also something that we are seeing commonly that is being used, the mistake that is happening. Duplicate enrichment, obviously, you're calling the same data over and over again and enriching the data. For example, you want jobs data from the market. You're calling the AI, you're calling the APIs. Every time you're calling the API, you're paying money. You're enriching it. But those jobs are already there, right? Maybe in your database. You're not checking it. You're just calling the API non-stop. And I just give you an example here, right? There can be many examples like this, correct? Broad buyer intent tracking. So broad level of intent tracking. I think within the intent also it needs to be certain layers of intent that needs to be tracked rather than broad buyer intent tracking and poor workflow design. Okay, we'll come to that later. So that is the general hidden burden sources that we have seen over the years that we have worked with the customers. And this is where the governance is so important. Credit governance is so important. So content created auto enrich burn. Every time you do enrichment, you burn money. So you've got to be really careful with that. So